My name is H.A. Goodman. I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. Hit subscribe right now. We're over 131,000 subs. We're on our way to 140,000. Hit subscribe. Tell your friends about this channel. My latest op-ed in the Jerusalem Post is below. Please, please, please share that on every social media platform you have. It explains one of the most insidious elements of the Democratic Party, and there are obviously a whole bunch of examples of corruption within that political party. But this Jerusalem Post article is titled, "Why Democrats Embrace Anti-Semitism and Anti-Israel Bias." Check that out. That is below. Please read that, share it. That's a very important article to me. And my Second Amendment channel is below. Check that out. I'll be going to the range either today or tomorrow. The latest segment is a 357. Really, really good grouping. And model 686 Smith & Wesson. Ladies and gentlemen, we have, by the way, brilliant State of the Union speech. Somebody is so petulant. The media is so petulant. Like, oh yeah, Trump. Oh yeah, Democrats threw shade at Trump. It's like, no, if you heard it on the radio or if you saw it, it was pretty. He was in control. He was in command. He was presidential. He was every, character trait that Democrats say he isn't, or he doesn't possess. And he was just wonderful. It was a wonderful State of the Union. Check out my segment prior to this one regarding his promise never to allow the United States to become a socialist country, which he's right about. Bernie Sanders didn't run as a socialist, by the way. But Mueller deputy briefed on anti-Trump dossier research months before 2016 election testimony. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a top Mueller attorney, actually the most powerful person within that team of only Democrats. And Mueller is not a Republican. Mueller's a Republican like Jeff Flake is a Republican. Even Mueller presided over yellow cake uranium being shipped out of the country. That's according to the New York Times. Everything I say backed up by public record information. He was Obama's FBI chief. But here, Mueller deputy briefed on anti-Trump dossier research months before 2016 election. They knew it was bogus. They still used it. That's called a setup. Okay, they knew it was bogus. They knew it was nonsense. They knew Hillary Clinton purchased it. They knew that CrowdStrike was the only entity to touch DNC servers. They knew all of this. And what happened? They initiated an investigation, and then they just indicted people on process crimes. That's it. Trump didn't collude. In 2015, I wrote in The Hill, The Huffington Post, and Salon that Hillary Clinton would lose. Below is one of my earliest segments in 2015 on this channel. I state Clinton is unelectable. Check that out in the pinned comment. It's below a whole bunch of my segments on H.A. Second Amendment and my Jerusalem Post article, which please share. Newly confirmed congressional testimony reveals that Andrew Weissman, now a top deputy in Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation, was briefed in August 2016 on the opposition research behind the anti-Trump dossier, underscoring how early and widely the Democratic-funded research was shared among senior FBI and Justice Department officials. DOJ official Bruce Orr was asked about such briefings during a closed-door interview with House lawmakers in August 2018. In the interview, details of which have only recently emerged, Fox News has learned that Orr revealed he met with Weissman and other DOJ officials shortly after July 30th, 2016, a July 30th, 2016 breakfast meeting with former British spy and dossier author Christopher Steele in the run-up to the presidential election. Orr told congressional investigators that his contact with Steele included, quote, specific information related to the Russian government's attempt to interfere in the presidential election, as well as allegations related to members of the Trump campaign, allegations of colluding with Russia. Look, by the way, There was Ahmad Zainab also. Two Mueller attorneys. It wasn't just Weissman, it was Ahmad Zainab. Look, this is the most absurd, ridiculous. This is the most absurd and ridiculous and irrational and overtly criminal setup in American history, perhaps even in world history. When have you had a political party buy a compilation of gossip to have its security services investigate and ruin the lives of people associated with a rival candidate? When has that ever happened? Well, I'm sure it's happened all the time, it probably very likely happened all the time in the Soviet Union or other despotic countries. But when does that happen in a democracy or a republic or a functioning, quote-unquote, civilized country? When does that happen? We had a peaceful transition of power since George Washington. That's what made our country function. That's what made George Washington so brilliant in his own right. Because whereas he had unlimited power, he didn't want to fight anyone. He didn't want to force anyone to wrestle control away from him. He just freely said, "Go ahead." And you had John Adams and Jefferson and every other president. But we had a situation where President Obama ended all of that. All because Hillary Clinton made an absolute mockery of the U.S. intelligence community. Look, she's going to eventually get indicted. She transferred top secret and special access program intelligence from secure locations within the United States government. This is public knowledge. Everyone in the intelligence community knows this. How do we know? Because James Comey stated so in his exoneration speech. He's relying on the ignorance, or he's relying on, I shouldn't say ignorance, he's relying on people, 99% of people in the country don't realize that Clinton transferred top secret. They don't know. They've never been really told. They don't watch this channel. They didn't read Trump's, Mueller, Comey's exoneration speech. It's too convoluted. There's too much spin, and the media doesn't care. Because the media is an extension of the Democratic Party. That's not hyperbole. It literally is an extension of the Democratic Party. Sure, the reporting, it has to be factual, but it's always muddied. It's always linked to this immense spin that constantly benefits the Democratic Party. So you have a situation here where Adam Schiff said, "Oh, well, Devin Nunes, the Nunes memo, the FISA memo, everything was above board. Nobody knew about the Steele Dossier until after the election. No, that's not true. Trump hadn't even won, and the Steele Dossier not only was unverified, but it was paid for by Hillary Clinton and the Democratic Party. Why would the FBI utilize that? Why would the FBI utilize? And why would the NSA and CIA, the CIA, FBI, why would James Clapper and John Brennan and James Comey? Because they knew they had the media. They knew they had the media. They knew they had Hollywood. They knew they had late night. They knew they had tens of millions of Americans who didn't care. Democrats don't care what they do to Trump because they feel that they just don't like his personality, really. I mean, it's a great economy. 5.1 million jobs created compared to 8.9 million jobs created under 8 years of Obama. In 2 years of Trump, 5.1 million jobs created. 467,000 manufacturing jobs created under President Obama. 303,000 net loss under 8 years of Trump. I mean, I'm all over the place. 467,000 created in 2 years, manufacturing jobs in 2 years during Trump's tenure. In just 2 years, Trump's first 2 years, created 5.1 million jobs and 467,000 manufacturing jobs. Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay? It's amazing. There are more jobs than there are people to fill those jobs. Wages are up. It's a great economy. Okay? It is a great economy. Paul Krugman of the New York Times thought that we'd have a global recession. And Trump is utilizing tariffs in a very strategic manner. So he's a very good president. He wants to bring Americans home from never-ending conflict wars. He's a good president. He's a very good president. Okay? There's no doubt I'll debate anyone with a major platform. If they want to debate me, it's if they want to reach out to me, if anybody wants, it's contactgoodman78@gmail.com. If you want to be part of a newsletter for this channel, it's contactgoodman78@gmail.com. But they knew about the dossier. They knew it was unverified. And by the way, it's a bunch of nonsense. Nothing's been proven. Nothing. When they say, well, parts of it has been proven. No, nothing's been proven. The dossier makes specific claims, ladies and gentlemen. Specific claims. Not like, nebulous, it could have been collusion. No. It's done allegedly with the help of even a Russian intelligence officer. So guess who colluded with Russia? It was Hillary Clinton. But the claim is that Carter Page and Manafort and Papadopoulos, at the behest of President Trump, conspired with numerous Russian intelligence and Russian businessmen and Russian individuals, all connected to Putin, to hack the DNC and to disseminate social media, all that stuff. Okay? It's a bunch of nonsense. There's zero evidence for that. Carter Page has never been even investigated for anything. They got a FISA warrant on Page specifically to begin the process. Then they entrapped Papadopoulos and Michael Flynn, who's an honorable man, General Michael Flynn, who should be pardoned of everything. What they've done is criminal. It's really insidious, nefarious. It's so immoral, from the same people who preach and give all these dumb sermons on Twitter. Oh, well, you should, this is all based on their neuroses. The left is like the most dysfunctional, mentally challenged group of pseudo-intellectual cheaters. They cheat Bernie Sanders, and then they turn Bernie Sanders into a tool of the Democratic Party. He doesn't even fully support President Trump's quest to bring home Americans. I mean, how great is President Trump? He's bringing home Americans from conflict and war. He's presiding over a great economy. Okay, peace between North and South Korea. Well, this is amazing. In 2 years, 5.1 million jobs created. I mean, this is but you will never hear this. It's only, oh my God, his personality. They threw shade. Oh, it's like, why do I care if Nancy Pelosi went like that? Who cares? Who cares? Oh, oh yeah. This is like a high school. The media is those people in high school that you're like, what? They might be the cool kids or they might be popular. But if you're an independent thinker, you're looking at them and saying, whatever. They're doing stupid things. They're acting in a foolish manner. So it's not like you really long to be them or even want to be near them. Democrats are kind of like those kids in high school that think they're the most popular people in the world. But really, people, the rest of the school is looking at them like, what's wrong with these individuals? Democrats are in their own world all the time because they're insulated by the media and Hollywood. Meanwhile, the reality of the situation is that Trump is a good president with presiding over a great economy. And no, Obama didn't hand him. Obama's last year was a 1.5, 1.6% GDP growth. That's nothing. Trump took the baton, and now he's run away with the economy. It's amazing. But CrowdStrike is the only entity to look at DNC servers. CrowdStrike was outsourced by Hillary Clinton and paid for by the Democratic Party and Hillary Clinton. And the Steele Dossier was also paid for by the Democratic Party and Hillary Clinton. And the Mueller probe, people on the Mueller probe already knew this. How do you get people in a special counsel investigating President Trump when even before there was a special counsel, even before there was a formal investigation, even before he was even president, they began looking at documents that were purchased by Clinton. Hillary Clinton purchased her own FBI investigation. That's how powerful she is. That's yet another precedent that cannot continue. She's like the first in many things. Being president is not one of them. She's like the first lady of criminality. Oh my God, she's so amazing. She was quite powerful. That is about to end because you have James Baker, who was also, the testimony talks about, James Baker he stated that he wanted to, in testimony, to indict Clinton. I was right about that. The FBI legal counsel, the top lawyer at the FBI, a law enforcement agency, wanted to indict Clinton. James Comey talked him out of it. Oh, and guess what? That person, James Baker, the FBI legal counsel, is under criminal investigation for leaking, but also is given the Steele Dossier, which is highly unusual, before the FISA judge looked at it. Because they knew that they were engaging in illegal behavior. And now you have Andrew McCabe, who lied under oath 3 times for leaking material about a Clinton investigation. Why? Because he was given money by Terry McAuliffe. William Barr does not have to look far to indict people and eventually lead to Clinton indictments. So, hit subscribe right now. Give me your thoughts below. You have 2 Mueller attorneys. 2 Mueller attorneys who were given the Steele Dossier in 2016. About a year before the Mueller probe even started. That's absurd. It is such a blatant setup. They framed Trump and they covered up Clinton's crimes. And now, in 2 days? Not even, tomorrow, William Barr will officially be the Attorney General. Think about that for a second. I'm not telling you to trust Barr. I'm not telling you, Martians and super secret agents are speaking to me through MySpace. As you can see here, this means that. And that I exposed all that nonsense. I'm saying that the writing's on the wall. If you just look, I doubt President Trump's going to make the same mistake twice. I doubt he became a billionaire by making the same mistake twice. He got 2 years under his belt. He knows how corrupt the system is. He knows that he was set up and framed. And now he has a new attorney general. And now he's going to flip the script. He has to. Republicans have to. Lindsey Graham is going to start a new Clinton email investigation in the Senate. They have to. The Republican Party, the Clintons are an existential issue to the Republican Party. An establishment Republican 10 out of 10 times loses to any Democrat. Democrats outspend Republicans. They have the media. They have Hollywood. And they can sweep any amount of criminality under the rug, even something as enormous as transferring top secret intel outside of the U.S. illegally on a server that was hacked by the world. If Republicans do not flip the script and do not actually investigate real crimes and indict real criminals, especially Clinton and people around her, not only will the precedent be set that another powerful individual could do even worse, possibly, but Republicans don't survive this politically. Without Trump, then we saw this tonight. Okay, America is never going back to an establishment Republican. America will never go back to the Mitt Romney, Paul Ryan type person, or even a Mike Pence type person. America will never elect that type of president. Trump is a very unique figure, a unique political animal, a unique political entity in a way. He's unique in every way. It's like him, love him or hate him, whatever. He is the reason Republicans have 2, potentially 3 Supreme Court justices. He's the reason that we have a great economy, not Obama. Obama destroyed Libya and presided over weak economic growth. Those are his claims to fame, and funneled money into banks, which is what Bush did before him. But Republicans cannot survive. And Republicans are the establishment Republicans are so stupid. They're actually even more ignorant than Democrats. At least Democrats are vile, and they just gravitate towards power. They have zero value system. Republicans actually do have a conservative value system that Trump more or less addresses. But what they do is they try to placate the media, because they figure, well, we'll just pretend not to support Trump, or we'll just utilize him when we need him, and we'll jettison him when we don't need him. Well, they don't realize that without Trump, the Republican Party is nothing. It's nothing. People vote Republican now because they want Americans home from a never-ending conflict. I mean, you don't vote Democrat for that, because you know that Max Boot and Clinton set the foreign policy. But conservatives vote Republican for a wall. They want a wall. That's what they want. Okay? They're not going to elect a Paul Ryan, Mitt Romney type who have no intention of wall. That's why Ann Coulter is going after Trump so hard, because she's reminding him, hey, you know what? You better not forget your base. And the base of Trump voters are composed of wonderful, amazing human beings. Black, Latino, Asian, white, Jewish, Muslim, Christian, all different types of people. The disgusting, nauseating propaganda that Democrats are so inclusive, and Democrats cheated Bernie Sanders and tried to paint him to be an atheist, because they thought that just acknowledging that he was Jewish was politically a threat to them. That's the type of political party you're talking about. In addition to Hillary Clinton referring to black youth as super predators, check out my article below. My article below explains everything. In the Jerusalem Post, why Democrats embrace anti-Semitism and anti-Israel bias. It's right there. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. You know the James Brown song, The Big Payback? This is going to be the big payback. You definitely want to watch this channel. Everything that I've been saying is happening, and I've been saying this since 2015. Thank you so very, very much. Please, please, please read and share my Jerusalem Post op-ed below. It's very important to me. Why Democrats embrace anti-Semitism and anti-Israel bias. And check out H.A.'s Second Amendment. The latest segment is a 357. Prior to that was a 44 Magnum. Prior to that was a 45 ACP 1911. So I'm having a great time on that channel. Check that out. Thank you so very much. This The State of the Union was awesome. Thursday's going to be great also. New Attorney General William Barr will be confirmed, and Rod Rosenstein's out the door. Thank you so much. Hit subscribe right now. Give me your comments below.